Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video. Welcome back to, well, not welcome back to, back to the channel, but welcome to something a little bit different. So this is my second, I believe, ever tier list video. Now, I don't love tier lists in the classic function of like, should you play a champion? And some people only play champions if they're on a certain tier list, of that's S. Those are relatively dumb for actually climbing in solo queue. The only tier list I think I've ever done as a video is champions that I like. If I like a champion, dislike it. That's the only one I've done. This one is different. We are going to potentially trigger some people here, but I'm not doing it on purpose. This is a tier list of my personal opinion of how hard a champion is to play. So S is going to be, these are the hardest champions to play in League, in my opinion. And E is the easiest to play champions, in my opinion. So it is worth knowing, this is just my opinion. You're going to disagree with it, that's fine. But we're going to create some discussion. You guys can let me know what you like, dislike about it. I have Twitch chat here right now. And actually what I should do, I just thought, because of what we're doing, I think it'd actually be kind of a good idea. Like we have, obviously, in the normal screen. Let's have the chat here. So you can see how the Twitch chat is reacting of Huzz is dumb or whatever they may say. All right. I'll explain a little bit on each one. I don't obviously want this video to be over an hour, but so we're going to have to be a good bit quick here or there. So, Aatrox. I'm going to just do alphabetical, by the way. Aatrox. So again, S is hard to play. E is very easy. I think Aatrox... he is a champion. This is where it's going to change sometimes. I think Aatrox is quite hard initially, but the more you play him, the more you'll be rewarded. But he's very clunky. And clunky to me isn't that easy. And again, this is my personal list. So I'm going to put Aatrox in... it's B or C. B is a bit harder. C is a bit easier. I'm going to put him in B for my personal list of like, I know I personally struggle a bit with Aatrox, but I also know if I played a bunch of him, I'd get used to the combo and I'd get used to it. Ahri. Not the hardest mage, but also is skill shot reliant. Again, this is where I will differ because I do play Ahri. I think B, because again, you have to hit those skill shots to be useful. For me personally, I think B. Akali, again, there's going to be a lot, apparently, I think, in B. Akali, a little while ago, was smash head on keyboard. Hey, Tayar, yo, thank you much for the 28 months tier 1. If Twitch chat, you guys want to explain, if people are asking what's going on, it'll save me constantly saying it all the time. So a little while ago, I would say Akali was smash head on keyboard. You can do anything you want. She's not that anymore. I will put Akali at A. I think she is hard to play. She's definitely not S. I think with a bit of time, I think most people would be able to pick up Akali. But Akali, you have to do things in a correct order. Otherwise, you're not going to do any damage. You have to use your W to weave in and out with the range of your passive. So, yeah, like, she's an A. Akshan, C. I don't think he's very hard to play. He's got a stealth mechanic. He's a ranged AD carry that's designed for solo lanes. He has a lot of the time lane advantage. Because of that, I don't think he's hard to play. Alistair, D, not hard to play. Amumu, D, not hard to play. Anivia, okay, slightly bias, first bias one potentially. So I personally would say Anivia is hard to play, but she's not insane. A lot of Anivia, yeah, she's mechanics, but a lot of Anivia is quite... it's knowledge as well, that you know how much you're doing and how much damage you can take and stuff like that. You can't see the top now. Oh, wait, sorry. There we go. Again, this is where personal bias, I'm going to put Anivia in A. But if I had to say, I'd probably make her, if there was like A- and stuff like that, I would make her an A-. A B plus, A-, roughly, I would say. Annie, easy. Aphelios, A, he's hard to play. So like I could technically, maybe later, depends how long this video is, I could have it as, if it's on the left here, that's an A+, and if it's at the back of the line, it's an A-. So I'd have Anivia near the bottom of A, or I'd have her at like the beginning of B. Yeah, Aphelios, I'm actually tempted, do I put him in S? I think I might. He's really hard to play. You have to have the positional skill of every AD carry, because he's an AD carry. You have to weapon manage perfectly. You also have to combo and have your the right weapons at the right time in the right situation at any given moment in the game. Yeah, okay, he's going to go S. He's either A+ or he's S. Ash, really easy to play. Aurelion Sol. So we are getting an updated Aurelion Sol. See, the thing with Aurelion Sol, he's not that hard to play, but he's hard to be useful on. There is a difference. I'll probably put him in A, though. Azir, S. Again, one of the hardest champions in the game. Bard, again, easy to play, but hard to be good or effective on. I'd probably put Bard either a low B or a high C. So I'm going to put him at a C. Belveth, either a D or a low C. She's not hard to play, but she's not Master Yi level. I'll put her at C. Blitzcrank, B. B for Blitzcrank. Ultimately, Blitzcrank, hard to play. He's not that hard to play, but again, it's that combination of you can be really useless on Blitzcrank. I just played a game in solo queue, and I actually stopped recording it, that we had the most useless Blitzcrank I've ever seen, and he was a one-trick, and he was awful. So it's very easy to do bad on Blitzcrank, and you do have to hit skill shots. It's so really, really important. Brand, I think he's actually quite easy to play. For a mage that has skill shots, he is on the easier end of the spectrum. So if I actually did something already, I'm actually going to put Brand. Oh, it's not letting me. Oh, it locks it into alphabetical order. Oh, that's annoying. I'd put Brand as like a C+ or a C. Oh, no, I can. No, I don't. I'll put Brand in C, in my opinion. Brom, pretty easy to play. Again, there's not much difficulty to Brom is the thing. C. Caitlyn, C or D. She is the like epitome of, I'm picking up AD carry. What champion should I pick up? Caitlyn, because she is so basic. I'll put her in C, because you still need a position. Camille. Again, not too hard to play, but hard to master. Oh, yeah, Caitlyn's traps are hard. That's why she's a C, not a D, in my opinion. I'll put Camille in C. No, B. B. I think that's solid. Cassiopeia, quite a hard to play champion, because positioning is very important. You need high APM to actually do anything on that champion, which some people just don't have high APM. Positioning, I've already mentioned, but your ultimate timing, your W miasma timing is incredibly, incredibly important. I would personally put Cassio's difficulty around the same level as Anivia's. What's APM? Actions per minute. How much you actually can do on your keyboard at any given time. I'd put Anivia and Cass around the same skill level personally. So about that. Cho'Gath, D, really easy to play. Corki, pretty easy to play, does rely on skill shots, but I'd say he's on the easier end of a skill shot champion, so I'd probably say C. Darius, he is easy to play. D or C? It's one of the two. C, maybe? C. Low end of C. Diana. Again, the thing with Diana, and this is where like it's hard, I'm right now trying to just think of champion and their kit. Diana, just off her kit, I would put Diana in a low B to a C. But with her modern build of building tank with demonic and stuff, she's incredibly easy. So it's hard for me to like, am I just going off purely the kit, or am I talking about how she is in the game right now? Because how she is in the game right now, I'd put her here. I might even put her here, but we'll put her there. Mundo, very easy to play, D. Draven, hard to play, A. Again, Draven, your positioning is important, like every AD carry, but then you're actually giving the mini game of catching your axes, and if you don't catch your axe at the right time, it's your DPS goes so down. So yeah, he's hard. Echo, I'd put at C. I'd put Diana, Echo the same for me. Again, Echo's got a lot of tools that help. You know, his E latches automatically. You can't even flash it after a certain point. His ultimate gets him out of any type of real danger. So yeah, I'd put Echo in C. Elise, Yeah, no, Echo does have an escape, Diana does not, but I'd say Diana is stronger in some aspects as well. I'd say probably B for Elise. She's high tempo, high speed, yeah, low end B, I'd probably say. You need to do well in the early game, need to land skill shots like Cocoon. Evelyn, C. Everybody might go, this might be the first champion that people would be like, Huz, what are you talking about? I think Evelyn is incredibly easy to play. Like, she got buffed recently and she didn't need a buff, but like, she's stealth, she has one-shot potential, she has an escape with her ultimate that also does one-shot potential, she has a regen mechanic that she doesn't need. I mean, the more that I'm saying it, I'm actually tempted to make her a D, because yeah, like Arcanine just said, she's all macro, so it's very little skill involved. It's more about your decision making. And if we're talking about the champion, yeah, she's a D. Ezreal, I'm gonna put him as a B. Very easy to be useless. There's only one champion in E. Spoiler. There's only, yeah, it's very easy to be useless, I would say. It might even be an A. Is he an A? Would I put Ezreal as an A? You need to land basically every skill shot. You need to position well. Actually, I'm going to promote him to A. Fiddlesticks. Quite difficult. He's basic in some avenues, but quite difficult, again, to be useful. And also, you need to ult in a way that people won't see it coming. B. I think B's fair for Fiddle. Fiora, B. I don't think she's that hard. When you get the basics of Fiora, you've basically got the champion. There's not like insane, crazy things. Fizz, I would say, is quite easy for the champion style. And what I'm looking at sometimes is comparing his champion archetype to these. Riposte, but that's the only hard mechanic of her. So like, if she doesn't have Riposte, Fiora would be a C. With Riposte, she's a B. I think Fizz is easier to play potentially than these two. Again, he's not very good at the moment. So that, again, I don't want to make people's mind. Fizz is not very strong at the moment. But that's not to do with how hard or whatever he is to play. I'd probably put him at the beginning of D, make him like a D+. I can do it, I just have to force it. I might go through these and kind of change the order later. Galio, not that hard to play. I'd probably put him in C somewhere. Gangplank. S. Gangplank's one of the hardest champs to play. Again, you've got the barrel mini game that you also have to maximize your range. If you miss the barrel, if they auto attack your barrel at the wrong time, can completely ruin your damage. Definitely one of like the hardest. So if I actually had to order these, I'd probably do it that. I'd probably right now put Azir, Gangplank, Aphelios. That's probably what I would say. Garen, yeah, he's a D. Gnar, I'd probably put Gnar in C. Yeah, I think C's fair for Gnar. Garen S. All right. Gragus. Again, he's that type of champion that's easy to play, but there is a lot of mastery. There's a lot of mastery within Gragas. When you actually watch a good Gragas player that, you know, puts a Q down and then ults somebody to go in the queue to then kill them, there is genuine skill in that, but his entry is quite low. But he is a hard champion. I'd either put him as like a top B or a low A. I'll put him low A. Graves, pretty one-dimensional champion, hard to be useful in certain avenues. But I don't think he's that hard. I'll put Graves in about C. Again, remember, we're going off how hard a champion is in my opinion. Gwen, B. I think she's a solid, like, maybe high B. She's hard in some avenues. Again, don't confuse it of, dude, Gwen is crazy OP sometimes. She is, but of difficulty level, someone can't just pick up Gwen and do whatever. Hecarim. Again, weirdly, he's easy to play, but hard to be useful on. This is where it's confusing of which one matters more. How is Aatrox B and Gragas A? Because Aatrox has the forgiving aspect of his healing. I'd probably put him in C. Heimer, D. Really easy to play. He's got skill shots, but he's easy to play. Alawi, B. Oh, wait. Again, it's going to be really hard for me to, like, show everything because of... Oh, yeah. Aurelia. See, this is, again, the weird thing. Where stat-based champions... That, you know, I know technically every champion's a stat-based champion, but more stat-based champions, the more basic ones, or the more auto-attacky ones, of how easy they are to play depends on, like, genuinely how strong they are in the moment. So right now, I'd put Aurelia as actually she's kind of weak. But mechanically, she has hard mechanics, partially. Sometimes it doesn't feel like she's got hard mechanics. When her stats are too strong, she just destroys you. I'd probably right now... she's weirdly hard to play right now because her stats aren't very good. I'm going to just put her in, like, the left end of B. Ivan. Weirdly hard to play champion. Very, like, huge decision-making aspect of him. Mechanics, not the hardest. If you see an Ivan, you are, and, like, they do well, you are very impressed with them. I think he's an A. He's not an S. He's not as hard as these three. There's no way. I think he's an A. Low end of S. A+, S-. Janna. Oh, hard to play. I think C. It's either low B or high C. We'll put a low B. Jarvan, C. Jax, C. Jace, I'd say A. Some people are trying to get Bard up. I'll have a think about it. Jhin, he's quite hard to play. Again, for an AD carry to only have 4 bullets at a time, you really need to maximize them. I'd say B. High end of B. Jinx, she is genuinely mainly just a right clicker. High end of C. Kai'Sa. I'd probably put Kai'Sa around the same skill level as Jinx. Maybe a bit. She's a bit more skillful than Jinx. Kalista, A. Karma, C. Karthus. I know some people are like, he's a D. You just press R, but you don't. Like, you don't just press R. You need to land your Skittles. You also need to really survive more than you actually think. So he's not a D, but I think he's a C. Yeah, maybe that's a promotion to S. We haven't got many S, so yeah, okay. Kalista's on the tail end of S. Casa win. So again, obviously I'm always going to have personal bias in this, but genuinely he's not hard to play. Like, he's really, mechanically, he doesn't have mechanics, let's be honest. He really doesn't, just objectively doesn't have mechanics. I'm going to put him at, like, mid-D. Cat win. All right, so this is where people will, like, probably either go, this list is bogus or whatever. Where would I put Cat? She has smash head on keyboard mechanic. She definitely still has that. But no one can just jump on Katarina or expect to do really well. I will say that. I will admit that. She's either here or here. I'll be nice. She's a B-. Kayle. Fairly basic champion stat-wise. Where would you go? You know, you could basically equate Kayle. Okay, my logic. She's basically like an AD carry, but she's harder to get to that point because she's so weak early. So I'm going to put her just above Kai'Sa in difficulty. Kayn. Oh, wait. Oh, God, there's 3 Kayns. Okay. What? Why? So wait, normal Kane. But I think Kane's easy on all three. Okay, blue's harder than red. So I'm gonna put red in. Red is very easy because of the amount of healing that you get, and it's very like safe. I'm gonna put red at the tail end of C. I'm gonna put blue at the tail end of B. I think that's fair. And then bottom one, well, again, very easy to play because you don't do anything. All right, I think that's fair. Again, this is starting to get bigger, but there's not much I can do. Hopefully we have enough space. I can always make it bigger, I think, on the screen. Kennen, quite a hard to play champion, weirdly. He's an old champion, so he has that kind of basic level that or he looks basic, or has that, you know, his text boxes on his abilities aren't that long compared to all new champions, but he's actually weirdly hard to play. Hey, Wolfie Janvier to 17 months tier 1 says, hello, just passing by before you start my shift. Thanks very much, dude. Appreciate the support. See you later, Roxo. Yeah, some people saying he's a ranged top laner, though. Ranged top laner doesn't mean it's easy to play. Like, a lot of the time in an actual all-in, a ranged top laner will lose to a melee one. That's the whole point. I'd probably say he's either high C or low B. Because again, it's part of like, is it easy to play? Can anybody just jump on Kennen and have a decent game? No, they can't. Like, that's kind of what I'm judging it off, roughly. If you just jump on any of these champions in D, the likelihood is you could probably have quite an okay game. The champion isn't going to be that difficult to be like, you know, you'll be probably okay. So he's definitely harder than that. He's harder than Kale, maybe. So yeah, maybe we'll put him right there. He's slightly harder than Kale. Kha'Zix. How hard is Kha'Zix? Roughly blue Kane level, maybe? Anything with stealth, I will say, immediately gets nerfed in my book. Because stealth is a really easy mechanic. So, like, I'm going to put him around blue Kane. I think they're very similar. Kindred, she's hard. Like, here's the thing. So many people are going to be like, Huz, your AD carry logic, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to put her low A. The reason why I think she's a low A, the minigame of her marks is hard. To time it well on the person that you want, to invade, the marks either go on neutral camps or in the enemy territory, that's a hard mechanic to get right all the time. And obviously ulting well, you can ult and screw your whole team. If you ult and then your wombo combo goes off and you just save the whole enemy team, that's bad. Kled. So Kled is like a right-click champion in disguise. He does have a bit more skill than most right-click champions, but not by much. I'd put him like just above Belveth, so like probably about there. I might also promote Bard. I'm putting Bard up to a B. Cogmore, pretty like Cogmore is very like, if we're going off standard, we're not talking about like AP Cogmore stuff like that. Cogmore is very basic. He is you know, the epitome of right-click as an AD carry. So you have to position. Every AD carry has to position. That's part of their fundamental skill. He is team reliant, but he's quite easy to play. I'm going to put him at a low C. Cassante. So the thing with Cassante is obviously he's just recently come out. He's absolutely terrible, but does that mean he's hard to play, or does that mean he's easy to play? Now, the only thing that I can truly go off is I've played him once myself. In the dev meeting, the guy, and you know, personal bias does exist, the guy that made him said he is one of the hardest champions in the game. So if the guy that made him is saying that, then I have to give that a little bit of a nod. Twitch chat is saying he's not. Yeah, he is according to the guy that made the champion. And the whole Twitch chat is saying no. Okay. I'm going to put him in a B. And this one I will say, I don't 100% know. Because he's brand new and he definitely needs buffs. So we're just going to put him in a B and that'll be it for now, okay? Okay. LeBlanc, A. She's hard to play. To manage your clone, your jumps, your ultimate, that is the mimic, she's hard to play. Lee Sin. I'd probably put an A. Lee Sin, yeah, he's an A. Especially in modern day, that he's not as useful anymore, sadly. Also, let me just modify this partially, because this is going to be very close to going off the monitor soon. So we'd move that up there, and then we can... Oh, wait, I can't. Oh, no, that's the maximum length that I can do this. Well, this is going to be more awkward. Yeah, I'd maybe even high A. Lee Sin, again, we haven't really done the order much, because I'd say Draven's harder than Anivia. Kindred's probably harder than Anivia. LeBlanc, I'd probably put around there. Ezreal, I'd probably put there. And then I'd probably put Jace probably there. And I'd probably Gragas there, roughly. All right, Leona. Pretty easy to play. C. Lilia. A. She's hard. Lissandra. C. Oh god, we are gonna start like not seeing it all at the same time. Lucian. Yeah, we'll do the order at the end. I'm just gonna put them into a category. I think is the smart thing to do. Lucian. I don't think he's that hard, but where would I put him? Is he harder than Jinx? Mechanically, yes. Lulu. D. Lux. She's a skill shot champion, but I don't think she's easy. Wait, she's a skill shot champion, but I think she's easy. Put Lux in C. Malphite, D. Mal's. I've been playing a bunch of Mal's recently. Mal's is D plus, maybe a C minus. Because again, you need to time your Q really well. But I'll put him up. I think Mal's is harder to play than Fizz. I'll just put him there for now. Maokai, C. Master Yi, D. Misfortune. Pretty easy to play. C. Maud. Again, there's not too many crazy mechanics. C. Morgana. C. There's a lot of C. I think most things will be a C. Nami, I'd say C. Nasus, D. Nautilus, C. Nico, A. Nidalee, A. Neela. Oof. I don't know how hard Neela is. She's a kind of a stat champion, to be honest. B. Nocturne, C. Nunu. Nunu's either like a D or a C. I'm gonna put him in C. Olaf, C. Oriana, A. Ornn, B. Oh god, I can't even see this now. Pantheon, pretty straightforward. C. C. Poppy, C. Pike, B. Kiana. Another controversial one happening here. I think Kiana is a lot easier than people think. I think the community has got a really weird thing. I'm putting her in B, and I know people are not going to agree, and that's fine. Quinn. C. Rakan. He's either a B or an A. He's actually quite hard. I need to demote Janna, though. Because he's definitely harder than that. I put Rakan maybe there. Again, we might go through the order later. Rammus. He's pretty easy. Rek'Sai. B. Rel. Again, Rel's one of those that is like, are you judging it because she's just not very good or whatever? She's hard. A. Renata. B? B plus? Maybe an A. Maybe an A minus. She is hard, but I'd probably, to be fair, just put B plus. Renekton. He's not that hard, but I also know that, again, this is my personal list of if I played a champion, how much would I rate if they're difficult or not. How was Renata hard? Have you played her? You need to be perfect in timing. Your Q is very narrow and you need to land that and hit that the right direction. Time your W is insane. Timing the ultimate's insane. She's also basically can get one shot by anything herself as well. She's hard to play. For an Enchanter support, Renata is on the very high end of Enchanter support. You can get fed on Renata easily. Yeah, but that's skill expression. If you're good at Renata, she's a modern day champion, so she uses skill expression really well. Still makes her a hard champion. Rengar, again, probably around Kha'Zix and Blue Cane. I personally would say. Again, I'm a bit biased because obviously I used to be a Rengar main. So I personally find Rengar probably easier than most. Hey, Winfang. Riven is A at least, and there would be a potential chat if I made her S, but for now she'll go there. Rumble is harder than people think because of heat management. So I'll put him... Some people might put him in C, but I'm going to put him in B. Rise is an A. Samira... Where's Neela? They're basically the same champion. Where did I put her? There she is. They're the same champion. Sejuani, C. Senna, C. Seraphine, D. Set, C. Shaco, A. Shen, C. Shyvana, B. Ooh, B or... I'll put C+. Singed, I mean, mechanically, he doesn't really have any. Scion, D. Severe. Basic AD carry. It's either low C or high D. I'll just put C. Be nice. Skarner. He's easy to play, but... Scion's not E. No, only one champion is an E. Only one champion is an E. Sonar, I'll put B. She's harder than people think. Soraka, C. Swain, I'd say he could even be A. Maybe a B. Silas, C. Again, I played this champion a couple of days ago. Syndra, B. Tamkench, C. Talia, A. Talon, B. Tarek, C. Teemo. He's pretty easy to play. Swain's really easy. He's harder than you think. D. Thresh. He's a high A. Again, there could be a conversation to put Thresh in S. There could be a conversation. Tristana, I'm going to put as C. Again, I might need to go over this a little bit because I'm going quite quick because I don't want the video to be... We've already been over 30 minutes. Trundle, C. Only reason he's not a D is because of his pillar mechanic. Tryndamere, D. Twisted Fate, A. I was very tempted to put him in S then. Twitch, C. Yeah, I think that's about right. Udyr, D. Again, very easy to play. Urgot, C. Varus, B. Vayne, she's actually probably the one AD carry, or one of the AD carries that is actually quite hard. A. Veigar, C. Vel'Koz, B. Maybe an A. Is Vel'Koz an A? Yeah, he's an A. Vex, B. Viego, C. Victor, B. Vi, C. Vlad, C. Volibear. Vex is more difficult than Vel'Koz. I disagree to that. Volibear. C. Yeah. Warwick, D. Wukong. Pretty basic, but harder than you think. C. Zaya, harder than average AD carry because of the feathers. B. Zerath, A. Zin, D. Yasuo, A. Yone, C. Yorick, D. Yumi, E. There we go. Zac, C. Z, A. Zeri is actually quite hard. A, because of her mechanics. Ziggs, he's actually quite hard. A. Zillion, B. Zoe. Zoe's an interesting one. I'm just putting everything in, and then I'm going to have a little bit of thoughts more on some others. Low B. And Zyra C. All right. So, that is my list. That is my initial hardest to play. So, the hardest champions right now in the game, in my opinion, are Azir, Gangplank, Aphelios, and Kalista. Easiest champion to play in the game is Yumi. All right, let's just have a little bit of a scan, shall we? A little bit of a scan of is there any outliers that I've got slightly in the wrong position. I've got one in the wrong position, and I hate to admit it. Evelyn's going to low C. Because the reason why I'm putting Evelyn in low C is, in my opinion, D is you've never played the champion before. And you go into a game, and these champions, you can have an okay, if not good game on. And I'm pretty sure every single one of these champions, that is 100% true. You're surprised Fizz is D? He's very forgiving, though, for his archetype. For an AP assassin, he's very forgiving. You throw your ultimate out. If it hits, you decide to go all in. You have a get out of jail free card with your E. It's pretty easy. I think D's pretty solid. So now let's move up to C. I might demote Shyvana a bit. Like, let's put Shyvana at, like, lowish end. And we'll put Yone. I'll put Yone in, like, the middle of C. Maybe up there. So again, it's not going to be a perfect, I would say, order. Like, literally, Brand's the hardest and Evelyn's the worst in C. It's not a perfect. It's just very rough. Silas is a B. No, he's not. He's definitely not a B. I played him yesterday. My God. The only hard aspect of Silas is that he's melee. Other than that, he's very forgiving. I'd probably put demote Kennen a bit in B. Maybe he'd be low end of B. Vex could go there. Zoe, to be fair, I'd put her maybe as a solid B. So not B minus, solid B. Lucian's probably not as... Cassante, again, he's the outlier. I'm just going to put him last. Demote Katarina. Demote Swain. Maybe Swain, I was a bit too generous. So maybe I'll put Swain down, like... I'll put Swain around Zoe. But everything else, I think, does kind of make sense to me. Nothing, I think, is wrong in this. Fiora is A? No. Fiora is C, and the only reason she's in B is because of her W. This is just my opinion, remember. This is my personal opinion. If I disagree, I disagree. This is my tier list. Why is Nico hard? Or A, sorry. She's harder than you think. To be a, like, entry to Nico, I'd say, is a lot harder. And to actually be useful on Nico is quite difficult. She's probably the tail end of A, if I actually did the positioning correctly. And I'd probably put Nidalee there. Draven's harder than Lee. Again, this is not, again, exact science, but I put Anivia probably a bit down, maybe about there, Orianna level. That sounds about right. Where's Lilia? I've lost the goat. Oh, there she is. She's A. Okay, good. That makes sense. Ivan, I would say, is down here, though. I'm just judging off. Yeah, I'd say about that. I think that might be my list. I think we're there. It's not perfect by any means, but this is my tier list of how easy I think champions are in League. So S, hardest champions to play. If you were like randomly new to the game, they would take the longest to get good at on average. Again, there's exceptions to every rule. Some players have natural skill to some champions, but on average, those I'd say are the hardest to play if you're new to the game. Anybody can play Yuumi. That's the whole point. That's why she's got a category by herself. You do not have to be a League player to play Yuumi. D is if you're actually wanting to play League, you can have a solid game of those champions. If you're new to the game, you can be effective on those champions without doing that much. Then the next category, a little bit harder, but ultimately still not that difficult. And then it kind of up it goes. I might demote Blitzcrank a bit. I might put him down there. Might also demote Janna. Sona can go down here with those three. Well, well, again, mechanically, someone just said, do I think Singed is D? Where did I put Singed? Yeah, no, D. You mechanically, very easy. You just run around Poison Trail. Yeah, there's like little bits extra, like, you know, flipping into a W pool and stuff like that, but you can have a good game. Well, again, I'm not saying you're going to get fed, but you will be okay. Mechanically, you will be fine playing Singed if you're new to the game. Same with Kassadin. He really doesn't have mechanics. Where's Graves? Oh, is Graves C? Okay, fine. I'll put Graves. People, I did mention, I have seen people talk about Graves a bit in chat. I'll put him there. So again, the reason why we're promoting Graves, which I will say, I agree. Graves has his whole stack management system to keep on top of and maximize the armor stacks that you're constantly keeping. Yeah, I will say, yeah, he's probably a low B. I think we're going to leave it there. So, let me know of your list. The way that I would probably invite the comment section to do this is, because again, it's basically going to be impossible for you to like say every single champion if you agree. Have maybe 3 to 5 champions that you personally like and tell me what tier you would put them in yourself. So, you know, and again, obviously I've tried my best in this list to not be completely personally biased. I know that it's going to happen. We're human, so that's the nature of humans. We will use personal bias, but I've tried to just subjectively go how hard that champion is. And it's a mixture of mechanically how hard I think the champion is, how hard it is to actually be useful on is part of it as well. And there's a little bit of how strong the champion is. That is definitely there. You can't hide away from that. A little bit is, oh, that champion is strong. Or even the opposite, that champion is weak. So to actually do good with that champion, you need to be really good at the champion. Partially, it's that as well. So there's mainly those 3 categories is how I have made this list. So let me know what you think. Again, I'll do a slow scroll here so you can get one final look. Feel free to pause the video if you want to go through it. Again, this is just for a bit of fun. Obviously, if you main one trick or just love certain champions, this is not a personal attack on you. It's just a bit of fun. It's a bit of end of season fun. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, do throw a like on the video. If you want me to do more stuff like this, please do let me know. If there's other tier lists and other categories, that obviously this one we did easiest champions. Before we've done which champions do I simply like or dislike, name me another category to do a tier list in, and I might do it. So let me know. If you guys enjoyed, do throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.